was quite an exciting one to see, him making history. I mean, he won the game, yes, we know that. But then the take home from his own game was the fact that he made history in the process.
Yeah. No,
your take on this?
I will tell you,
he's here to stay.
Hadi is here to stay. And I would bring you back to last year. Hadi started making history from last year. 2024, Hadi became the first Lebanese person to make it to the Olympic Games, even though he lost out in the first. He lost out in the first round to the incoming GOAT. That's Carlos Alcaraz. He beat him in the first round of the Olympic Games. He won an ATP Challenger last year, which is also a very good step, a step in the right direction. And he also went for the Davis Cup. So that has been like the first of many. But then again, you know, there are still sentiments to that because, you know, people are like, oh, you know, Lebanese history. But I will tell you that he was born in the US. He grew up in the US, you know.
Texas, precisely.
So it's easy for him to have all of the right environment to develop his skills and, you know, become a world-class, you know, tennis player. So.
And let's move away from tennis to the CAF Confederation Cup, of course, aimed by Nigeria's most successful team in the league, after struggling and hoping to get a qualification to the next round of the CAF Confederation Cup. In this encounter against Al Masry at the Gossel Pabio Stadium in Uyo, they ended in a 1-0 draw for the elephant, the People's Elephant. Francis, I know this is not the result we all anticipated after the first outing, after the last outing they had. That's the match they fought. Yeah, but now you see 1-0 draw and a few more games, 2 or so left to be played. Your thoughts on Enyimba? Do you see them progressing out of this one? And if not, why? Okay, so I will tell you, it can go both ways. They have 1 point currently in the group, but then again, it depends on the other people in the group, how they perform, and how Enyimba also performs in their last 2 games. Well, am I optimistic? No. You know, we always say the most successful club, and we're almost running out of juice with that most successful club, because most successful club that cannot constantly replicate success is no longer successful. We will not change them to used to be successful. So I used to be successful. Yeah, used to be successful. But 9-time champions of the Premier League. So as 9-time champion of the Premier League, you know, 2-time CAF Champions League winner, you have to constantly play at, you know, show intent at the highest level, because it's not enough to secure qualification. People always secure qualification. But then I'll tell you that, you know, Enyimba has really had a poor run of form, you know, in recent times, all thanks to the coming of Brown Day, that he has seemed to galvanize the team and help to spur them back to winning ways. But then again, when you are up against, if you look at the quality of people who have won the CAF Confederations Cup over the last 4-5 years, you know, Zamalek, RS Becker, these people are very tough, strong opponents. And then I don't see Enyimba going tick into the tournament to compete with these people. They would. So for me, I would say that it's better they break my heart early on and, you know, exit at the group stage. Yes, yes, and you know, because of I want to see that competition that we saw in the first stage of season, where, you know, them Rivers United, Remo Stars, you know, kept the table ticking at the top. Three-legged competition. Yes. So if that's what is going to happen for me, then it's better rather than, you know, save us what I would call plethora of embarrassment, you know, with losses won or, you know, not being adequately prepared for games, or, you know, hearing that certain issues that shouldn't be issues, like, you know, maybe getting late to the stadium, all of these things. I don't want it. So if that is going to save us all of those embarrassments, then for me, they should exit in the group stage. Well, let's hope and pray and perhaps begin to calculate and that the Enyimba gets to, for miraculous reasons, qualify to the next round and then prove Francis wrong that they can go as far as even win the CAF Confederation Cup. They've done it before, and perhaps this is another time to do it. They've also had new legs in the squad, but let's not dwell on that. Now let's come back home to the Nigeria Women League, where it is set to kick off in just 2 days. Yes, announcements have been coming up. Players have been making moves from different clubs. I saw this morning updates, like 3 players from Delta Queens moved to Rivers Angels. And then Benue Queens are now in the league. And former Benue Queens are the club we know to be Honey Badgers. Got promoted to the Premier League, and now they have been, you know, they're going to be representing Benue State. Your thoughts on the NWFL? I mean, generally, let me just ask you that first of all. You know, I've always been a big fan of the NWFL, and I tell you why, because I will tell you Men supporting women. I will tell you that the NWFL has a very good management structure, which is tantamount for success. If you want to succeed, you have to have a very, very good structure. Their management, for you could see that they were already having team meetings to ensure that
people, management level staff
Yes,
are informed of the rules of the game.
The rules of the new season.
Yes, and everybody, both officiating officials and team managers have been in those sessions, so to get everybody up to speed. So I will tell you I'm excited. I'll tell you I'm excited because, one, for the longest time, the NWFL has always produced constant players for the national team at all levels, under 17, under 20, we've never lacked with the. And then aside that, produce a very good pipeline for talent exports when it comes to women's football. I will tell you that I'm also more excited because of the new teams. I think the team's capacity has been increased from 12 to 14 teams.
16 now.
16 teams now. So there are more teams competing, so more games. And more games also translates to more job creation because more people have to do more work on match days, which is one of the things that I look out for when it comes to league season. Then also the new entrant, Benue Queens, former Honey Badgers, and then Remo Stars.
Yeah, Remo Stars.
So you're going to see that there's going to be a lot of competition, coming in, and you know that Remo Stars generally are a well-funded team. So I want to see how well-funded and well-structured. So I want to see how that translates to their female team. So I'm going to tell you that it's not going to be a runaway for Edo Queens. They're going to see a fight to the finish. And let's not forget that Rivers Angels, Bayelsa Angels, Bayelsa Queens have also been one of the strongest teams as well. So, but last season, Edo Queens, had to force them to go to the back of the seat. So I want to see whether they would also have a resurgence this season. So generally, I'm excited for the NWFL. I want to see the new stars who come up. I also want to see how the year grows, for them this year. And, one of the things that I wanted to give for my predictions for the new year is that, generally we're going to see increased funding and visibility for women's sports. And I hope that happens in Nigeria.
All right, the league gets underway this Wednesday. That's the NWFL 2024-2025 season. Kicks off this Wednesday at the Samson Ogbebia Stadium the first match between defending champions Edo Queens and Abia Angels. It's going to be a killer one, but I mean, let's just hope that Edo Queens, Abia Angels give us a shocker for the kickoff of the season. But now let's to our first course this morning, or our main discussion this morning. Super Eagles of Nigeria have been in the news, and we all know why they are in the news. They're in the news because they have a new coach. Talking about Eric Chelle from Mali. He's been announced to take charge of the Super Eagles by the NFF, and also the Chan Eagles, who are also preparing for the Chan Championship coming up later this year. That's in February. Francis, your take, your thoughts, and your analysis of this new coach. Mind you, he's going to be unveiled officially by the NFF today. So let's start with all that records that he has.
I would first say, as always, the NFF comes to us like a thief in the night, spring up on us a new coach. But then, like the Bible says, you never know the coming of the Lord. So NFF, didn't tell us what was happening.
So we'll never know the coming of the Super Eagles coach. Is that what you're trying to say?
We'll never know, because he has been, everybody, there's been a lot of speculation, since, and they're like, what's going to be up with Augustine Guavon? Is he still going to take reins of the squad and, everything? And then we not getting the desired result in our last encounter, brought up the debate, do we need a manager, a new coach? And here, the gaffer comes, African like us, but not from Europe. He's an African, but a foreigner. So
African.
A foreign African. But
let's focus a little.
But I will tell you, I want to be positive, and I will tell you why I want to be positive. We've had a lot of negativity when it comes to recruitment for the Super Eagles job. And one of the things I always say to you, Sam, is that the Super Eagles job is not an attractive job, because whenever you want to take charge of the Super Eagles job, you have to understand that you are going to be under a lot of intense pressures, because you are not working for the NFF for the players. You are working for over 200 million plus Nigerians who are willing to drag you to the cleaners on social media if you don't get results, even if it's after 2 games. Secondly, you are also going to take on the ability to work without getting paid on time and as at when due. So you have to have a lot of emotional intelligence to work with Nigeria, because you must have an elasticity to be owed.
Okay.
Which is also a problem. But I will tell you that I want to be positive.
All right, let's quickly look at his stats. I mean, he's played so far before coming into Nigeria. He's played 159 matches, won 170 of those, drew 42 of those, and lost 47 of those. Quickly, do you think the stats are enough for Super Eagles status?
I mean, it's fair, and I will tell you, I wouldn't want to judge him based on his work at club level. So quickly, I'll just tell you with Mali's national team, you can see that there were certain things that he did in Mali that also makes me a little bit, I want to give him some chance. Now, one, tactically, he wasn't so bad, and you could see that he led Mali to the semi-final of the AFCON, having not, gotten that far in the AFCON in the longest time. Secondly, also, I think he's a disciplinarian, because you saw what he did with Yves Bissouma, put him on the bench at certain games during the AFCON because of he felt that his discipline levels were not at the highest. So one thing I expect from him, one is that he's going to, respect. He's going to command discipline in the squad, and then tactically, I want to cut him some slack. So I want to be positive as a Nigerian.
All right, we're all staying positive at Nigerian fans and fans of the Super Eagles as they have announced a new coach who will be taking charge of the team going into the World Cup qualifier when the game resumes in March, and perhaps also the Chan Eagles who are set to take off for the Chan Championship in February this year. Well, thank you so much, Francis, for coming on the show always.
Good to be here as always. Good to be here as always.
All right, that's our package on Kakaki Sport this beautiful Monday morning. Thanks for watching once again. I am Simbi Shima. Up next is the social intervention segment. Stay tuned.